And today, this is another video of what if Naruto was Konan's son. I only got one thing to say to y'all. If y'all hear any noises, if y'all hear any type of noises, just know that people next to my building are doing construction. So, yeah, there's gonna be kind of a lot of noise, just in case. So, if y'all can't completely hear me, I'm sorry. Um, just know that I'll try and do this video like right now. So let's get on. So it starts with Konan and Naruto, and dang it, and is Naruto is with Konan. You know, they started dating a while ago, and now, and you know they started dating. This is when you know they got drunk, and you know what happened. And when Konan found out like she was pregnant, she knew that she knew that that once the kid was born, she knew that once the kid was born, that there would be some kind of issues with her and Naruto. So so um so she told Naruto that she left a note saying that she left the Akatsuki, and well, you know, she saying that she left the Akatsuki and she doesn't want to be in there anymore. Like, it's getting kind of boring. So she left, and this is when she's in Konoha. You know, the nine-tailed thing still happens, but and the kid gets sealed inside of a kid named Naruto, and Minato and Kushina are still alive in this. So yeah. So yeah, that happens, and you know, uh you know, that happens. And now this is when Kona, you know, Kona and not Konoha, Konan is giving birth to Naruto, and she's friends with Kushina and Minato. You know, they're pretty good friends. And seeing how they are good friends, most people, like, the only reason why they're friends is because you know, because you know they're both girls, and they're both going, and like Kona was gonna give birth, and Kishina already gave birth, so you know. But instead of Kona giving birth to one child, she's giving birth to twins. Except one of them is going to have red hair, which is going to be Naruto. He's going to have red hair, and his sister is going to have purple hair. And Naruto, so you know, the twins are born. The sister was born first. Naruto was born second. Like Naruto was born an hour after his sister. So like, yeah. And by hour, I mean like it was, sorry about that. It was this one that was born first. Like, it was then like it was 11 when she was born. After that, it was 12. So like Naruto was like after like 11, like after 11:20, I mean 12:02 o'clock at night, Naruto was born. So her birthday is kind of first, his is kind of the next day. So yeah. So, but like they were kind of born on the same day after an hour each other. So yeah. So Konan, I don't know what y'all gonna name her daughter, but just name her something. But yeah, name her something. But I'm gonna say Naruto. Naruto. Um, he. Oh yeah. Since well, Minato sealed half of the Kyuubi in his daughter and then himself. He politely asked Konan if he could seal the chakra in one of her kids, like the chakra that he has that's in himself. She says so. It takes Minato kind of a little bit of convincing, and so Kushina. It took Minato to convince them that it kind of happened. So so the so half of the Nine Tails will also be in Naruto, and that's that. Now, moving on. Naruto is now 2, and his sister is 3. And his sister plays with Naruto a lot. So like they play with each other a lot. So and Naruto does ask if he can play with them sometimes, but they always say it's for big kids, or like or like you're too young and it's a girl thing, not a guy thing. So it's basically so so this is when like another time skip happens, like a few years. Naruto is 5, his sister is 6, and so is Naruto, she's 6 as well. This is when Naruto has asked to play with his sister and Naruto a lot, and they always say no. So this is when he sees Sasuke, who's also 6, and he said, and Naruto asks, hey, like Naruto knows Sasuke from Naruto and his sister, so he then goes up to Sasuke and says, Sasuke, can we play together? And Sasuke is saying, huh? Who are you? And how do you know my name? This is when Naruto then says, you and my sister and her friend go to the same academy. Well, not academy, school. So, you know. So he then says, what school? He says the school name, and he says, well, and then he tells them what his sister is and who Naruto is, and he's like, well, I'm not doing anything, and well, I'm not doing really anything, and I'm about to train Naruto, so, and you're kind of still a bit young, so you can't train with me. Sasuke says, and Naruto puffs and says, fine, then I'm gonna go and train on my own. And this is when Sasuke, he like kind of giggles because he likes how Naruto is so, eager to do stuff. And how he's not really willing to give up until it's done. So, after like a few years, but not a few years, Naruto's training, and this is when he sees that Hinata is being like bullied, and he tries to go, like he runs up to her, but like this is when paper comes out, and he quickly rushes up to them like at quick speed. Like they saw, the only thing they saw was a bunch of paper appear and turn into some kid, and now they're freaked out, so they run away because like they think Naruto is some sort of monster because he just turned into paper because he came out of paper, like paper turned into him. So they run away from Naruto, and now Naruto asks Hinata, "Are you okay?" Hinata then says, I'm fine. Are you going to bully me as well?" Naruto then says, "No, I'm not. But my name is Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, and you are." This is when Hinata says, "I'm Hinata Hyuga." And Naruto then says, "Hi Hinata, would you like to play with me?" And then she then says, "Well, how old are you, Naruto?" He then says, "I'm 5. You are." She says, "I'm 6, but since I also have a little sister, I'll play with you." This is when Naruto is excited because this is the first ever person to ever really play with him. So this is when Hinata then asks if she can also bring her sister to play. Said, her sister is also kind of bored as well. So, they go and they play. I'll say after a few years, now Naruto is 8, his sister is 9, and they're both in the academy. They're all in the academy, and now Naruto, he's kind of like a prodigy. Like he's kind of like he's over like a hold on. He's over a Kakashi prodigy. Like he's really smart. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm back, and he's over a Kakashi level type of smart. So they're like, oh, the academy is like kind of too good for him. It's just that he's weak. He's just smart. That's it. So this is when Minato then assists Naruto, saying, "Naruto, would you like to be trained?" And Naruto is now excited because he always wanted to be trained. Like he always wanted to fight and be trained. And it's been like a few months. This is when the Katsuki attack. But the only reason why they do attack is, well, you'll find out. So this is when Minato is there, and he asks Naruto, well, Pain, who are you? This is when Pain then asks, where is Konoha? Well, Konan. He asks, where is she? And Minato, realizing that he's looking for her, he says, I don't know what you're talking about. No one here is named Konan. He says, you lie. She has to be here. And Minato says, no, she's not. I don't know who that is. I don't know a konan. Now, this is when, this is when, Pain says, fine then, if she's not here, then this village has no need to stand anymore. Since this is when, Conan then pops up saying, Pain, I'm here. And this is when, Pain walks up to her and says, Conan, come back to the Akatsuki. And this is when she says no. And a couple of envoys come, and now they're fighting, some ninjas and stuff. And since, Naruto is still kind of a kid, and he may be a prodigy, he's still a kid. He's a kid still, and he gets afraid by stuff kind of easily. He's like a baby, but he's smart, really smart. So this is when he sees some guy trying to pull on his mom, saying, come back to the Akatsuki. Naruto, not knowing what the Akatsuki is, he's scared and can't move. This is when he's not, Naruto is out there, he's just out there showing everybody. And this is when Kisame then shows up behind Naruto and says, Kisame then says, look at what we have here. This is when Kisame then says, leader, here. As he's holding Naruto by his back collar. And Naruto struggling, telling him to get off of him. And this is when Naruto quickly runs all the way to Naruto. And this is when Pain says, there you are. This is when, Naruto's sister comes out of nowhere saying, let go of her brother. And Naruto doesn't really care, but in his eyes, he sees that his daughter, Naruto's daughter, is smart and is strong, but Naruto, he's smarter, but not that strong. So he'll train him. He's going to take Naruto. This is when, out of nowhere, Minato comes and takes Naruto from Kisame. Pain saying, give me back Naruto. Well, Pain says, give me back the boy. And this is when Minato asks Naruto, are you okay? He says yes, and then he puts Naruto down and says, Naruto, run away. And this is when Minato says to Pain, I won't let you get near Naruto. Pain being mad because, why wouldn't he? Saying, fine then, I'll just have to kill you. Now, Pain obviously knows, now Minato obviously knows that he's not lying, nor is he joking. This is when Pain does an almighty push, but it's not that big. It's not big enough to destroy all of Konoha, but it's big enough to, sorry about that, but it's big enough to destroy, push Minato away into, a few buildings. So Pain can go and get Naruto. This is when Pain calls out Itachi and, he calls out Kisame and Deidara to go get Naruto. they just say yes sir, and now they're running. This is when Minato orders to Kakashi and Guy that to say stop them from, well, the Uchiha massacre does happen. Like it kind of does happen. Like no one really expected it, not even well, not even Minato. He did try to stop the Uchiha. He did try to stop the Uchiha from overthrowing him, and he also tried to stop the massacre, but it was kind of too late. So yeah, by the time Minato woke up and got dressed and got to the Uchiha place, it was already destroyed. People were already dead, so it made no sense to stay. Well, it made no sense to try and save them now, because they're all already dead. Sorry about that, guys. So now, Itachi and Kisame go after Pain, not Kisame, and it's Pain and Itachi going after well, you know Naruto is running away. This is when his mom shows up behind him. Naruto saying, "Mom, what's happening?" This is when she says, "Naruto, don't mind me. Just keep running." Naruto says, but Mom." This is when, out of nowhere, Itachi and Pain show up, and Itachi pits Konan in the Genjutsu, but she does some hand signs, and says release. And Naruto, since Naruto saw Pain and Itachi, he started to run again. He started running again, and now, because he's scared of Pain and Itachi. This is when Itachi attacks Konan. This is when Pain is just slipped by them, and with Konan looking behind her, seeing that Pain is almost about to catch Naruto, and she was going to send paper after him until Itachi then kicks her into a wall. Now, and Naruto is running, kind of looking behind him, seeing how Pain is so close to him that he can grab him, and it's just over with until Lord Third comes and says, "Naruto, run now." And this is when Naruto says, yes, Lord Third." And Naruto runs for about 33 minutes, and he is really tired, and now he is in a shelter with all of the other people. There are ninjas there, but Naruto has been there for about 2 minutes, and people are already starting to look at him with hate, saying, "Why don't we just give them Naruto? They'll all stop if we just give them the boy," because since Pain saw Naruto, that's kind of all he wants. He doesn't really want anybody else other than Naruto right now. And this is when I would say another member of the Akatsuki appeared, and now it was a 2v1 against Deidara appeared, and now it was a 2v1 against Konan and Itachi and Deidara. So now, this is when Itachi says, Deidara, hold her off. I'm the one who'll be going after the boy. Now, since Itachi is a part of the village, he knows where Naruto is hiding. Not just because of that, he can also sense his chakra. It's kind of everywhere, so because he's a little kid and he's panicking, so he goes to. So now he just appears out of nowhere inside the base of he's where Naruto is, and he then he knocks out the guards and knocks out Naruto, and he takes him. The people don't even do anything to stop Itachi because they know that they can't do anything. If they do, they'll just die or get knocked out or something. So they just stay where they are. Now, this is when so now Pain. So this is when now it's Pain versus Konan and Deidara versus whoever I said who was fighting Pain. Who was fighting Pain. And this is when Itachi appears holding Naruto, and he says, leader, I got the boy. And Konan with wide eyes trying to get Naruto, but this is when Deidara makes an explosion and causes her to hit a wall, and now she can't get Naruto. So this is when Pain goes up in the sky and says, almighty push. And all of Konoha is destroyed, and now the explosion kind of knocked out Konan, so she's knocked out, and this is when they take Naruto. Naruto is now in the Akatsuki base. Well, he's in a different place. He's not really in the Akatsuki base because they know that if Konan were to track them, he knows that Pain said get all y'all stuff, leave nothing behind, leave no evidence that we were here, and we're going to find a new base because Konan can just say, oh, they were here and this is where their base are, so they're finding a new base, where to go. So now Naruto is in, he's in Naruto's room, sleeping on the bed. This is when Naruto then gets up because he was a little bit injured, and he says, ow. This is when Pain steps in the room and says, oh, you're awake. Good morning. Naruto is scared, but he doesn't really want to. Naruto is scared, but he doesn't really know what to do. He's feared. Naruto is scared out of his mind. He does not know what to do. He's just stuck in place. And this is where I'm gonna leave it off because I'm kind of tired. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Goodbye.